Start stream. Mic check, check. Good. Discord audio looks good. Video, YouTube looks good. All right, good morning. It is Friday, November 3rd, 2023. Starting a little bit late here. We are going to do a short version of this coding stream here today, but got our first question here. Let me screenshot it and bring it in, and we can get started. So, Mustache asking, how do you use the draw tool to only draw once on the chart? It's a really good question. Right now, it's drawn a lot, and every time it runs the code, it's making Sierra chart lag. So yeah, this is a good question. There is a setting on the draw tool that you have to set, and the setting, oh gosh, what is it? There's something called use tool, or a structure called use tool. Let me just pull up the documentation on this so I'm not ACSIL drawing. SUse tool. It's called SUse tool is the name of the structure, and there's this thing called add method. So I'm going to send you a link to this in Discord to go check out this. But SUse tool has a thing called add method, and this thing controls how the drawing is added to the chart, including frequency, replacement, etc. And so jumping over to that definition, add method, let's read through it together. I'll make this a little bit larger so that you can see it easier. Specifies whether the chart drawing for that drawing tool is going to be always added to the list, not always allowed to be added, or will it update an existing drawing? You can do a lot of different things. Here are the different options that you can set this property to. You can set it to always add. You can set it to add only if it's a new drawing. You can set it to add or adjust an existing drawing. And notice the presence of these line number. Where's another one? Line number. This is another important piece of this puzzle. You need to assign line numbers to the drawing that you are adding to the chart if you want to keep track of them. This allows for them to be uniquely identified with this type of identifier, just a number, a unique integer actually. So like if I had a study that I was writing and I had a drawing that I wanted to add, and I just wanted it to add once, I can assign it a line number, and maybe I'll make it today's date, so 2023-1103. It has to be an integer, so I just gave it a big integer. If I assign that to the use tool object that I'm creating that I will be drawing with, and then I create an add method of, what was it, add or adjust, then it will only update that one line if it needs to move, or that one drawing if it does need to move. Otherwise, it will not add another one to the chart. So, Mustache, I guess, can you tell me, are you trying to update an existing drawing? Or are you trying to move a drawing around the chart with new values? Are you trying to, like, what is the use case?
Yeah, we're trying to draw like multiple ones. So we're using it for like fair value gaps to find them. So we're trying to find all of them. But so I think we're using the add always method right now.
Okay.
And so it draws each of the fair value gaps, but then I think each time that it runs, it's redrawing all of them. So I think we
Correct,
were wondering
because
if there's
add
a way to make it
always is
just
not in the context of what you are thinking in your head, but rather in the context of each time the script runs. So
okay.
add always isn't respecting anything other than if that code gets executed to draw the chart, it will always add it to the chart and that code gets executed every single time an incoming tick happens, then that will get added for each and every tick, which is likely why you're seeing the performance issues that you were seeing, because it's just
Okay.
continually running and seeing add always. So it's like, okay, yeah, keep adding it, keep adding it, keep adding it, keep adding it. If you if you if you there's a couple different ways to handle this. If you have a drawing that you do not want to modify or touch after the first time you've drawn it, then what I would suggest is get drawing, get ACSIL, get ACS drawing by line number. This. I would recommend utilizing get ACS drawing by line number and storing that line number for that thing that the fair value gaps that you're drawing. Each one of them gets its own unique line number, and I would store those into some structure that you can keep track of. And then you can check for the presence of them by using this, and if they exist, then don't run through the code that's going to be drawing that.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, do you exist?
Yes.
Yes, then don't draw it. Do you exist? No, then draw it.
Okay.
You see
That
what I
makes
mean?
sense. Yes.
But also, so if you use this correctly, then you could use the add type of always add because you are checking for the existence of it before you add. Otherwise, you might want to try a different uh, add type, add method.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah. What's up?
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Any follow-ups on that or?
No,
Okay.
that was pretty helpful.
Okay. Let's go. We got Senti with a question here. Let me screenshot it. Actually, it's like a novel. Hold on a second. This is a big one. Here's the second part. Okay, Senti is saying, um, oh, this is the interactive brokers issue, right? I see. Okay. So that was related to some questions, was it yesterday or the day before, about the IB feed being just the IB data feed being crap compared to Sierra's. So let's see. IB has a concept of calculating volumes, including transactions. These types of transactions, it affects how the volume is reported. Yep, now the problem is occurring in Sierra because it takes the historical data. Um, it does all this crap, and then it calls this other thing, and then it shows incorrect data um, like this. So here's the thing, Senti. I was thinking about you and this question and everything related to this, and I think someone else actually replied in the platforms and brokers channel regarding this, saying that they are also seeing. Yeah, Ken replied here with this, saying he also sees um, volume studies and other tick data related stuff is off as well. Here's my take on it, Senti. Sear chart has.
Yes. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah. I could able to join in voice. Yes, please tell me.
so I know Sierra has this integration to interactive brokers, and that it does have the capability of bringing in data from interactive brokers. However, the data starting off at interactive brokers, even before it hits Sierra or even before Sierra's involvement, is already subpar. And then you're trying to bring it in over essentially a hacky type of connection. And it's not hacky because of the way it's implemented. It's just clunky because you are bringing in a data feed from a separate third-party system that just isn't native to this system, while there are other data feeds that are specifically designed for this system. When you combine that with the cost of the Sierra data feed, which is
Yeah.
super low for non-professionals, like extremely low. Like it's cheaper than any other data feed that I'm aware of. I mean, compare it to like DX feed and some of the other higher quality feeds
Yeah.
out there, which are hundreds of dollars a month. Sierra's, I think, is like 20 bucks, 15, 20 bucks a month for the data feed. Um, it just becomes a no-brainer. You got to switch to the Sierra data to get like the amount of time you're going to spend trying to even troubleshoot this problem is going to be
Yeah.
more money and effort than just getting the Sierra data that works intrinsically in-house in this platform. So my recommendation is stop using Interactive Brokers data and make your life easier and switch to a data feed that's native to the platform that you're trying to consume it in. Because yes, you could go through all this, but I'm not 100% sure, but I would not be surprised if you ran into other hurdles trying to code around this issue.
Uh,
Even if you had somebody sit down and build out some kind of solution for the data here, you're going to spend
yeah.
so much time building that out and testing it rather than just paying the 15 bucks for the Sierra data and being done. Like it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what I was trying to say is, right now I already paid for my TC 2000 also. So I'm already paying to this TC 2000 software, both the platform fee as well as the data link Nasdaq data link fee.
Hmm.
So it's little difficult now. Maybe after 2 years. Unfortunately, I was not aware of Sierra Chat earlier. If
Oh,
I'm
is it a
aware,
contract? It's a 2-year contract for TC 2000?
it's a subscription. If it is 2 years, I will get 6 months free.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, if I cancel it now, I will lose some of the free offerings, whatever is coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, it's almost 7 months over. So I just came to know about the Sierra Chat. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken TC2000 because what I am expecting that is there in Sierra Chat. The only problem is the volume on the last day. Like you explained very well. I mean, it's very difficult to integrate a platform which is already well built for some purpose. But I'm trying to do something which is not that a
Not
perfect
native.
solution.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So why I am really interested in this because if I got Sierra chart, I can use it for my India trading as well as US trading, and I don't have to switch between two different layouts, two
Yeah.
different. I don't have to remember two different things when it comes to India as well as US like that.
Is
That
the
is
Indian
that is why
Stock
I'm really
Exchange
interested.
available on the Sierra data? Did you check?
Sorry, can you come again?
Is the Indian Stock Exchange feeds available through Sierra?
Yes, yes. In
Oh,
India also there is a feed available, but yeah, that also comes with some kind of same similar charges, and not even similar, double the amount. If it is $20 here for US, it's $40 for my India feed. What they are offering.
okay.
It's a separate fee. Yeah. So I will be paying. I mean, for some professional guys, it may not be very huge, but I'm not yet up to that level. I'm just starting out. And the one more important thing is I just learned C++. I have been learning like last 3 years or so, and Sierra Chat helps some integrations, right? So I thought of dipping my hand on that and trying it out. So that is a main point here. If it is, I think Sierra allows if somebody is making a code and integrate it, right? So is it possible? That's what I want to do. It's mainly for learning purpose, not for full
Yeah.
trading also.
I would say,
This,
I don't know what type of trading you want to do, and what type of custom studies and analysis and things you want to write, since you said you are learning programming in C++, and that's great. That's all stuff that what kind of use cases you have. TC2000 is a, for those who are listening and aren't aware, is a platform that is created by, I don't know if they're still called Warden Brothers, but they used to be. I actually used a product of theirs 20 years ago called Blocks, which was before TC2000 was renamed to TC2000. I think it was called something charts, not telecharts, something.
Telechat, yeah.
It was Telechart, yeah. Created
Yes.
by a software company called Warden Brothers, and they had a couple of other products, and they had some really cool stuff, including like you were able to make scans across a large universe of stocks. You could do things similar
Correct.
to how the radar screen and TradeStation works. There's a bunch of cool features in there. It was good for me at that time when I was in a different phase in my life, and now it doesn't meet my needs. I think you can trade through it as well. It has integrations to like a lot of different brokers and all this other fancy stuff. So they've built it up. Some people love it. For other
Yeah.
people's
Yeah, I
flows,
like the
it's
platform.
yeah, it works for what some people need, and that's great. I would say you should plan out and think about and maybe write down what are you trying to accomplish with all these platforms? Because it's easy to sign up for a bunch of platforms. You can sign up for Sierra, you can sign up for TC, you can sign up for what is the other one with the pretty bubbles? Um,
Yeah.
oh God, what is it called, guys? Not Atas, but I forgot what it's. Bookmap. You can sign up for Bookmap. You can
Yeah.
sign up for a bunch of different platforms. That doesn't a platform's not going to give you edge just by signing up for it, and it's not going to necessarily address the things you're trying to accomplish just because you signed up for it. So you really need to think about what are you trying to accomplish. What platform actually meets that. Sierra is not the correct platform for everybody. You know, it's just not. Some
The,
people find it too difficult to use. Some people don't need that level of customization that it offers. For folks like a lot of the people who are listening here, it's great because you can build and do almost anything you want if you have the drive and motivation to build it out. You can do almost anything that you want inside there, and you can get really high quality tick data through there as well, through the feeds. And it's also extremely competitive pricing. I don't know of a platform that offers anywhere remotely near this pricing for data and also for the platform itself. So, but it doesn't mean
yeah.
that it's for everybody. You got to use the right tool. Just because you have a fork doesn't mean you should eat your soup with a fork. It's got to be eaten with a spoon. So,
No, no, actually, there is a point. The point is if CRI is working with interactive brokers, well, means I don't have to switch two or three different platforms.
right,
Because
you can
I can,
consolidate. Yeah,
yeah, I can trade with interactive brokers in India as well as US market because I have account both here in India as well as US market.
yeah,
Now the problem is TC2000 will not allow interactive brokers integration for the people who are outside of US.
yeah.
Okay,
There's
so
always a hurdle of
that's the
some
problem.
sort that you need to overcome.
Yeah. So now when I'm charting, I'm seeing the charting platform and switching over to the TWS to put in the order. I'm missing something. Sometimes I miss the trade because my entry point is long gone, something like that. So that is the only problem I'm facing now. The same thing happens here also. In India, I use TradingView for charting. Then I move to TWS for placing the orders. So I want to avoid these things. And Sierra comes in a very perfect way. I mean, I was searching for this for long.
Hmm.
Now the only problem is last, current day volume. The current day volume is going haywire, and that is distracting me. Even that is not a big problem for me because volume is only one part,
Yeah,
because I'm doing only swing trading. I don't need the fine print. Swing trading means I patterns. If that pattern is there in the daily chart itself, I will enter, and I will just have a small look at the volume. just to get a grip whether the volume is coming in or not.
Have you
But
tried
right now,
switching off of what is the bar period of this chart that you have? Like, have you tried switching off of
very good.
intraday and going to historical data on Sierra that to try to fetch the historical data from IB instead of intraday tick data? What is the bar period of this chart that you sent the screenshot for?
Daily,
That's a daily.
daily.
That's a daily
Yeah,
historical. Okay, so it's incorrect on the
yes,
daily historical. So yeah, I mean, I will refer to the comment that I made a few minutes ago, which is you
yeah,
could invest the time to try to dig through this, and I'm guessing that once you find out what the actual issue is, there will be other hurdles that you will need to overcome. And once you put all of that effort and time into it, it will have just been easier to subscribe to the data straight through Sierra chart, is what my guess is. Um, I I I don't want to take this on because this seems like a pretty straightforward, like, yeah, just sign up for the Sierra data and you won't have to deal with IB's data. I understand the situation you're in. You might want to consider, see if anybody's willing to help you with like figuring out exactly what's going on, but it's gonna require quite a few hours of like dedicated, focused, undivided attention to really try things back and forth with you, and you'll probably need to compensate them unless they're just, wanting to do it out of the
yeah,
goodness of their heart. But yeah, this is beyond the scope at this point of this stream. I,
yeah.
I stand by what I
Can, can
said. Grab when you can, grab the Sierra data feed, and this won't be a problem anymore, and you don't have to deal with making multiple systems talk to one another. So,
After 2 years, I'm definitely shifting to Sierra. Okay, because already 7 months are over. Another 1 month, sorry, 1 year or so, I will be moving over to Sierra. That is for sure. But meantime, I just want to learn C++ as well as coding related to charting platforms. Even I was trying to build my own charting platform. I built it in Python, but that is very clunky. Very slow, and it can do only one chart at a time
mhm.
because it's very. I mean, about Python. I don't have to explain.
Yeah, don't
The
don't
thing is,
recreate the wheel, guys. I mean,
yeah,
there's we had a conversation similar to this about journaling software a couple of weeks ago with a couple of the guys where everyone wants a journaling software that does what they needed to do for their flow, based on how they trade, what time frame they trade, all of that. And we were like, well, should we make a little project and in the Discord here and have a bunch of different developers pitch in and try to build a journaling product? But then once we started asking what people needed, every single person has different needs for what they need out of their journaling software, and 99% of those needs are already covered with existing journaling software that has free tiers available. So there is no point in recreating the wheel and spending all that effort and time and energy and tears and blood to build something that already like 99. What is the phrase? Don't let good enough, or no, don't let perfect be the enemy of good enough. I use this when raising with parenting and raising my children um, quite often. And I don't know if we have any parents who are listening here either now or in the future. Um, that time when your kid's trying to do something and you're like, oh, if I just come in and interfere and just if I just button the last button then on their shirt, then they'll be a little bit less cold. Or if I just help them move this block into place, then they'll get it. Or if I just move this over here and if we just pose for one more picture, etc. And what you end up doing is you destroy what is good enough and they were actually
yeah,
engaged in, you end up destroying it because you feel like you need it to be perfect. And that is,
yeah.
I find that is so destructive to my children that so
Uh-huh.
I really make an effort to not let my, anxiety, OCD, whatever, I don't have those, but um, I try not to let that perfect destroy what is good enough. And this is one of those situations. Like, yeah, you could um, go through and do all this, but yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I'm
rambling
still
here.
thinking about not as a serious one, but as a learning. Just to, I need a project, and I thought this is a perfect project. When Sierra was saying
This
they
is
cannot
not a
make it
good
because
first project. No, Senti, this is not
oh,
a good. This is not a good first project. No, sometimes people come in with like, hey, I've got a first project. I just want to build a high speed, high frequency trading system built in C++ that'll, be faster than everything that Goldman Sachs does. Like, it's like, well, that's not a good first project. A good first project is identifying something. Well, that's actually a valid question. What is a good first coding project? The answer to that is identify something you do every day in your life that is a repeating pattern and find a way to automate it. That's a good first coding project. Find something you do every single day manually. Like, for example, do you enter something into a spreadsheet every day manually? Do you do anything? Like, it could be as simple as like an Excel formula in like Google Sheets or Excel or whatever. Identify something you
mhm.
do every single day that you need to put in, whether it's a time card. It doesn't even have to be trading related. It could be life related or kids related or spouse related, whatever. It doesn't have to be trading related. Identify something that you do every single day manually and then find a way to automate it using code. This is really how I learned. I mean, yes, I went to school for it as well, but this is really what taught me what I know is, and I think we mentioned this last time. What is it? Necessity is the mother of innovation.
uh,
This is
Correct.
this is the key. Necessity is the mother of innovation. Once you
Yeah,
find something that's a repeating pattern, and you're like, okay, I'm going to try to automate this, and it has to be bite-sized because it's your first one. It's not going to be a fully automated trading system. That's not a good first coding project. Something that's small, and you find a way to automate it, and then struggle, and figure out a way to automate it. It won't work right away. You got to struggle. You got to use Google. You got to use YouTube. You got to ask questions. You got to come on coding streams like this and be like, "Hey, I'm trying to solve this problem." Like Mustache just a few minutes ago was like, "Hey, I'm trying to draw this stupid line, and it keeps drawing all the time." Like you got to struggle through that, and now you learn and you read through the documentation and you gain that knowledge, and then you move on to the next tier, the next step. That is how
yeah,
that is how learning, like actual learning, takes place. It doesn't happen in one gulp. It doesn't happen in
correct.
one day. It's a journey. It's a journey. If you guys have
Yes.
never read, uh, oh God, what is the name of it? Oh God, what is the name of it? Is it Life? No, it's Zen. Um, by Persig, I think, is the author's name. Is it Persig? Yeah, Robert Persig. Um, the TLDR is of this book is the best things in life are about the journey, not about the destination. That's the TLDR, but recommend reading it if you're into that kind of stuff. But basically, it just talks about how you have to learn how to enjoy the process of struggling and failing and learning and struggling and going through all of that. That's what life is about. Um, Anyways, I'm getting off on tangents here.
Mm.
Thank you for the question, Senti. Mustache has another
Mm.
question.
Thank you for the inputs, and I will take it. Yeah,
Yep,
thank you so much.
of course. Um, I have a study drawn a line from the open of different times. You mean the open of different dates or different
Um,
time? Do you mean the open
I don't
bar or the
know,
open time?
like the open of the London session and the US session.
Okay, okay.
Um, yeah.
So it works fine on time-based charts, but it doesn't reset on range-based charts. Let me try to understand what the Let's move this up here. So you have, where's our timeline? Here's our timeline. This is the Big Bang. Big Bang. And let's say this is the US Open. And then let's say this is the London Close. Or you wanted the London Open, right? So
Yes.
it'd be over here, right? And this over here, okay? And so you're trying to draw a line on the chart for when the London Open happens?
Yes, yeah, so it works already. So like as soon as the first candle pops on the London Open, it'll draw just a line at that open.
Okay.
And it'll draw a separate one at the US. And on a time base, like a 5-minute chart, the next day it'll reset and draw it at the new London Open and the new US Open. But on a range chart, they won't reset and they just pull it from whatever the first one on the chart was.
Okay, so it works fine. So it works fine on time-based chart periods. Does not work on range-based chart periods. My first question to you, based on these pieces of evidence, is one, is the range-based chart the same number of days loaded of data as the time-based? I don't know, why am I writing this out? Is it the same number? Is it the same? Are you loading the same amount of data in the range-based chart? Is it a separate
Yes.
chart, or is it the same chart that you switched to a range-based chart? Like, did you 5 minutes and then
Same chart.
Okay, so you switched to like a 2-point something range.
20 range.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 tick range.
But the num days loaded is the same on both of those because it's the
Yes.
same chart. Okay. Okay, so that takes away that as a potential. Works fine on time-based, does not work on range-based. What are you putting? Oh, I guess this is the second question. When you say it doesn't work, do you mean you do not see a line? Or do you mean that it's throwing an error? Or can you define it's not working? What does that mean?
It draws the line, but it draws the line at the first, like the first set of opens on the chart. So it never resets to the new day. So if I'm loading like 30 days, then 30 days ago is where it'll draw the line instead of today. And then it just draws that line across the entire chart.
How are you identifying, this is the second question, how are you identifying a new day as you described it? What is the logic involved in identifying a new day?
Let me open this. So it is.
Yeah, if you can paste a snippet, that's even better, just so that we can show it on the screen and everyone can follow along.
So it has 3 sessions. I'll just post one of the session codes in there. I have it split into like 3 sessions so I can do 3 different time, but
yeah, you can just do one of them. That's fine. We don't need all 3.
Yeah. So it's, and then the one section says the message could not be delivered. Don't share a message with the recipient.
Can you do interpretive dance?
Don't know what that is.
That was dad humor. That was a dad joke.
Okay. Yeah,
which did not land. All right, go back to drinking your coffee.
Message cannot be delivered because I don't share a server with the recipient.
Oh, you don't want to put it in the coding channel?
Messages.
Can you paste it in the coding channel?
Yeah, I posted it in there, and it's saying I don't share a server, or the recipient is only accepting direct messages from friends.
But can you paste it in the coding text channel though? Like, wrong guy. Oh shoot, whoops, sorry, random dude who's
Yeah,
not
that's where I tried to post it.
post, and it's saying in
Yeah,
here
I
you
tried.
can't post it because that's so odd. Okay, where are you?
I'll try
Let me
to
add you as
post
a
it again.
friend. Hi, add friend. Try that way. While that is going on, anyone else have questions? Is it yes to here? Hey, long time no see, man. How have you been? Mustache, I'll wait for you to
Yeah,
send that over.
saying the same thing. Oh, and I wonder if it's
Try throwing
maybe
your
I need to
computer out the window.
I need to. It sucks.
So is it possible, Tahir's asking, is it possible that it's looking at specific, oh, you're referring to Mustache's question. Is it possible that it's looking at a specific time to draw the line and the close of the range does not line up with the time? Exactly. That is what I'm getting at. What I'm thinking is happening without seeing the code is that because range-based bars, and this is something I run into all the time with my clients who are using non-time-based bars, and I've developed various ways of dealing with this, but for automated systems, this comes up all the time with entries and exits and other conditions needing to be set when dealing with non-time-based bars using range-based bars, but then the client has time-based uh, criteria that they need. Hey, is that SBF in your screenshot right there or in your avatar? It looks like his hair, but um, what was I talking about? Oh, right. So the reason is because range-based bars are based on range. So they could potentially, the open could be at like 9:30 a.m., sure, but the close doesn't have to be. It could be at 9:31 and 27 seconds. Like it doesn't have to be. So if your session times are looking for a specific time-based criteria, which an open of session would be, and also you are using range-based bars, which do not guarantee you a nice, even uh, uh, opening closing time, then when you attempt to draw that line and are you setting on the use tool structure, are you setting begin date time or are you setting begin index? Which one of these are you setting for your, oh, you posted the screenshot.
Yeah, so that's like the first half. The other, so it has two sections in each of the sessions, but the other one is just for session start time instead of or it's and, just so that if I start like before midnight, it still pulls it.
Let's look through here. Can you guys see this screenshot? So, oh dang, there's no line numbers here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's tough to refer
Yeah,
to say, look at
starts
this.
at line. Yeah, sorry.
Um,
But I'm watching.
so where's the first part where's the drawing?
It's the subgraph. I'm using subgraphs to draw.
Oh, it's not a chart. It's not an ACS drawing. It's not an ACSIL drawing. It's a subgraph. Yeah, that's a completely different. Okay, yeah, that's a completely different situation. So, um, so you're not drawing a line. What you,
No, not
this is
technically
this
setting a subgraph.
yeah, this is
Sorry, let me
not this is
clarify
not
that.
the correct way to describe this. I would state this as populating subgraph
Okay,
instead.
sorry about that.
No, no, no. I'm saying from a conceptual point of view, drawing a
Right,
line would refer to using a drawing tool, and
right.
these would be applied to that drawing tool. But on the subgraph side, so you are trying to set a value on the subgraph for, like, so is where this arrow is pointing, is that the thing that you're looking at? Is that what's not
Yes.
showing? Okay, so you're setting a
Um,
subgraph to
yeah.
whatever the current index is when you are.
Oh, sorry, let me clarify a little more. So I'm also setting highs and lows. the highs and lows are working and resetting, just the open is not. So at the
Where's the
bottom.
open? So this part works, this part works, this part does not work.
Correct, yes.
And the logic is the same, it looks like. The SC index. Yeah, I'm not seeing why this would be any different based on what you're, unless the open is not populated. There are times when some of these subgraph arrays do not get populated. Let's take a look at the, oh gosh, what would it be under? It would be under variables and arrays. I'm gonna just search for open here, and try to find the base data in area. So yeah, I think for certain types of bar periods, the certain data points are overridden with um, other pieces of data, and I'm not sure if open is one of them. Are you using auto looping off or on?
Auto looping is on, I believe. Yes, auto loop is on.
What if you turn it off? What do you get?
Let me turn it off.
It might be an auto looping thing because the thing that you're actually it might very well be an auto looping thing. Auto looping on means I give up my rights and firstborn child to the Sierra chart to determine what is best for me. That's what auto looping on is. Um, you are giving up your control of how the application will process your script by turning auto looping on. Um, Given the fact that you are attempting to do something with session times, this seems like a very suspicious thing to have on, and it seems like something you probably should be controlling um, uh, manually. Oh, Tahir says it looks like the last condition should be an equals. Uh, Tahir, where are you looking? Uh, I'd ask what line number you're looking at, but where are you looking, Tahir? You're on your phone at work. Okay. Um, I don't see any single equals. Calculating daily low. If we're above the high, if we're below the low, if the time is equal to the time. Yeah, these are a different set of conditionals because these are price-based conditionals versus this, which is a time-based conditional, which might be why this is not working. I would try turn auto looping off, mustache.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
I just rebuilt it. I'm putting it in now to check it.
oh, Luda, good suggestion. That can work as well. I wonder, you might need to populate. Um, is that one of the ones that you need to add the maintain data arrays flag when you're building it? The get open high low close of a time period. And this does not work on tick data. You guys should know. I learned the hard way. This does not work on tick data when the chart is represented in bars. It will work on tick data if the chart is a tick chart. But if this is a bar chart with indices, this will operate on the indices high and low, not on the individual ticks. So um, if you have a situation where you have, let's say okay, how do I explain this? Let's say this is time, and then let's say this is price, and price went up here and then down here and then came up here. And let's say you ask for the, um, let's say you ask for the, and let's say this is the bar right here, and this is another bar right here in terms of when the bars start and end, and this is another bar right here. This is just the timing of the bars, right? Let's say this is the timing of the bars. And you use this get OHLC. And you provide a date time to it that is right here. It will include this high in the response that this provides. It will not actually examine the ticks starting at this point in time and going forward. It will look at the bar index and see that the high is up here, but this is inaccurate from a tick data standpoint. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? This is a major pitfall. If you're expecting this function to get OHLC of a time period, you provided a date time that's after some kind of event, like let's say a peak like this. Um, you will not get the OHLC of this. The high will not be here. It will be here, which happened before the time that you submitted. So there's a gotcha warning that you need to be aware of for that.
Turning auto looping off work.
It worked?
Yes.
Oh, well, my work is done here. And actually, that's good because I got to run. If condition is time equal to time input, then it will not work with the range bars. It doesn't line up perfectly with the time like you were mentioning earlier. I had the same issue with another study. Okay. Well, I'm glad that that worked. And we talked about that as well. Um, Apologies for the abbreviated session here today, just crazy, and you guys probably heard all the construction going on. So I will wish you a good weekend and catch you guys next week. No trades today, needed to take the day off. My trading has been, I don't know if I'm in a slump or if I'm just having a couple of rough days, but between the lack of sleep and just the poor trading decisions, I decided to take today off and um, just to give myself that break mentally. Um, I don't know if the trading has been difficult for everyone else. I don't really have a chance to talk with a lot of other traders about equity stuff that I mainly am involved in, but I got chopped up yesterday and just not really getting in the groove. I had a great October. And then right at the end of October, things started to kind of get difficult for me. So decided to take a break today. I might even take some of next week off if I don't feel rested up yet. But that's how this is. That's how this is. So I don't know. Are you guys seeing a different market regime in this last week-ish terms of trading, or are you guys seeing it easier or more difficult than it usually is? How are you guys seeing the market right now? Your automated strategy stopped working for the past 2 weeks, and the market conditions have changed. I agree. I think it was the Thursday of, um, hold on, it was this Thursday, the 26th. Uh, on this Friday, the market felt completely different to me, and I've been writing about this in the various Discord rooms as I talk to people about this. But as of this Friday, the 27th of October, things felt very different to me. And then I just struggled through this week. Like I just have not been getting anything going through this week. Now, granted, I made a bunch of really poor subpar plays as well, which is a reflection on me, not on the market. And I have to examine why I'm making those kinds of decisions. But the change here in the market is notable. There's a war going on, that's why. I mean, you can argue that it's a one-dimensional thing like that, and it's just, oh, there's a war, therefore it changed. I don't think that it's as simple as that. Um, yeah, that might be a contributing factor, though. Um, Also, the conflict did not start here. The conflict started here. So, and this it was just such a different tape on this Friday. The tape was so different in all these large caps, and it's just been different since this. So, I thought the tape on Wednesday was in particular very interesting because the first of the month can often provide a lot of mutual funds and large institutions either getting names off of their books or onto their books, also the end of the month. So these 2 days were pretty interesting to me. Um, and we, of course, saw that huge reversal off those lows. Things were looking very, very not great. And then just the bulls had a party week. So, but anyways, I will wish you guys a good rest of your Friday. Stay safe, and we'll see each other next week. Thanks for joining the stream and stream.